Alright guys, a little bit more seed sowing today. I've got to get some broad beans done and some peas and some re-sowings. I got written down here 0 germination of nasturtiums, and that's very unusual. And that's been nearly 2 weeks now. And little gem lettuce. Now I'm not going to redo the little gem lettuce because as you can see in the kitchen garden here, all these salad leaves, they're going mad. I had a few little radishes out there last night with my salad. I've got to move that from the greenhouse to the kitchen garden going in the kitchen, believe it or not, because I've got to bring the chilies down because the tomatoes are going on leaps and bounds at the moment. So a bit of seed sowing to do, and I want to have a chat with you. What we're doing, I'm going to have a bit of a chat. So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash video, chatty, you know. A few comments about me and my arms and the bruising, and let's tell you what it all is. I have got a very low heart rate, beats per minute. It's 39 to 44 at rest, and it's called, I have to write it down, it's called bradycardia. I always forget it. I always call it brachy for some reason. And because of that, I got to take blood thinners and anticoagulants. So they've just changed the medication for the anticoagulants to one that anticoagulates even more. So you probably saw me up the allotment the other week, cut my finger, took 5 minutes to heal sort of thing. But now, even without knocking myself, I get bruises where there's thin skin. Only on my arms, nowhere else on my body, just the forearms. And these sort of things are, believe it or not, a bit like bed sores. I'm lying on it, and in the morning I've got that. This one popped up last night, but they're not as bad as they were. So now this brings us on to my chest went tight, and I had to take my rescue steroids, which was given in 2023 from when I got to a oil rapeseed field, descended its pollen on me, and I was terrible. I had to sit on my bum going upstairs. I couldn't breathe. So I took the steroids, felt better. So I thought, what's wrong with this? And this is where it's all going now with Google searches and things like that. Excuse me. So you do a search, and I even looked in the label in the tablets, and it says yes, it can cause increased bruising and tightness of chest. Anyway, we took the gremlins to watch the Magic Faraway Tree the other day. Fantastic! What a brilliant movie. In the shopping centre where the cinema is in Stroud, there's 2 lifts. One goes from the cinema level right up to the top floor, and the other one stops off at the shopping centre level. Now, coming back out, some of the kids went one way, some went the other way. We got the wrong lift, basically, so I had to walk the last 3 flights of stairs. And I tell you what, I got to the top and I wasn't collapsed, but I had to rest for 5 minutes before I could drive the car. So we got home about 3:30, gets on the old news system online for contacting the surgery. Much better than phoning the receptionist, I'll tell you. And within 40 odd minutes, there was text messages flying backwards and forwards. Are you in pain? Have this and that, shortness of, and are your ankles swollen? And no. Made me an appointment for first thing in the morning. Went to see her first thing in the morning. I expressed my concern about the change in drug causing it. And she went through things and says, you're right, she says. It is a drug, but it's not the one you're thinking of. It's me ankle painkillers. Now, you may remember I said that the doctor says, yes, there could be a problem. And I said there could be a problem. And we both said, well, if there's a problem, I totally forgot all about it. So anyway, because it's an NSAID, like an aspirin, it also increases the bruising risk, and it causes tightness of chest. So straight away she changed the prescription and said, carry on, you keep taking them if you've got pain. But I was prescribed before 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Now it's take as required. And I've not taken one for 4 days now. My chest is better, and I tell you what, I've got no pain in my ankle. So I'm wondering if it was some sort of damage in my ankle all the time and not arthritis. No, there's not even, I'm not doing it now, there's not even a twinge there, you know? So maybe the painkillers helped me get better. Right, whatever. I ain't getting much seed sowing done here, by the way. And so this is where this leads us on to sort of internet searches and AI. Now, unless you task AI to do something, it is only a glorified search engine. If you say, oh, create a tune of me gardening and planting tomatoes, it'll do that. But if you say, this is where it comes now, Kate sent me some Ukrainian purple tomatoes. So that takes my total up to 60 now. Thank you very much, Kate. Never heard of them. So I typed in Ukrainian purple tomatoes. AI said one thing. And then, I don't know if you notice in Google or most search engines, at the top you get sponsored results. You can hide them, but at the top they're sponsored. They're people who pay to be there. And I've got an example of this. I'll put the picture on the screen now, and I'll show you what I mean. One lot is saying it is a plum tomato. One lot is saying it's a round like beefsteak tomato. And the searches, they're not showing me Ukrainian purple. They're showing all different types, and you'll see it in the picture. And this... I'm on a bit of a rant here, guys. This goes on with other things as well. I needed some more. It's here somewhere. Fine vermiculite and fine perlite. Got to Amazon. There we go. Yeah. Hang on a minute. That's bark and that's clay pebbles, and they're in the sponsored results. So even though I've typed fine perlite, it's not showing me perlite, and it's a bit of a bloody con trick, really. That you've got to scroll past all these adverts that people pay for to find what you want. You know, it's a bit of a thing. You know, I like doing a lot of recipes, cooking. I haven't done one for a while. I'll have to get on with that. So what I like to do, I'm trying to think of something now. Butter chicken. So I want to do butter chicken. I Google butter chicken to see how this person does it or that person does it, how I can make it better or how I want to make it. And I've got to the stage now where I am avoiding these recipe websites that you've got a little bit in the middle. It tells you where the dish originated from, why they use certain ingredients, and all down the side is adverts. And if you look at the slider taskbar, the slider bar at the side, it's a tiny little thing because the recipe is right 15 pages down. And you know it's one of these sites because at the top there's a little thing that says skip to recipe or jump to recipe. And I've got examples of this as well, actually. So what I do now, I'm only, which I never used to, I'm only looking at, let's call them trusted websites like BBC Good Food, or even, heaven forbid, Jamie Oliver type thing, you know? Maybe the odd advert, but certainly not plastered with it, and it gets straight to the point. And you see what I mean with the images I've got for you. It really is, you've got to be so careful, you know what I mean? It's just, oh, I don't know. Anyway, and this takes me on now to YouTube. Now, back in the day, say 4 or 5 years ago, it was recommended that you had your genre, gardening for example, and you stuck to it because YouTube used to offer your channel to other people to watch. But the algorithm has progressed so much now that it knows what the viewer wants to watch rather than what it thinks it should be showing people, if you see what I mean. If I regularly search for car videos, for example, I don't know, electric vehicles or whatever, it'll present a few more to me. But after a while, it notices I'm looking at Dolomite Sprints and Ford Capris and Hillman Avengers. So after a while, it's only presenting me the older car videos, none of the Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all the Top Gear rubbish. You know, the older cars that I like looking at and reading about. And that's how it's working now. Subs do matter, don't get me wrong, guys. Oh, subscribe all you like. But my views now, there's something like, I think I've got an example. Well, I'll find one. The majority of my views come from new viewers, not from subscribers. So it's people looking for white loaf recipes and stuff like that. And they keep getting, those sort of things keep getting presented to the viewer because YouTube knows that Fred wants to learn how to make white bread. So it doesn't matter if one week I'm doing Lego, another week I'm doing gardening, another week I'm doing bread, because that video gets presented to the right people anyway. You see where I'm coming with this? There's quite a few channels I follow, 60, 80, 100, 400,000 subscribers, but they put a video out and they get 1,000 views. So 399,000 subscribers aren't looking at his videos or her videos, you know? It's weird, isn't it? So it's totally changed. The algorithm's learning all the time. And nobody, don't let anyone tell you they know how it works, because there's nobody outside of YouTube knows how it works. And even then, according to one of these master classes I was on last week or the week before, even then there's only 2 or 3 people who fully understand it, because each person, each section of YouTube, each department, they have their own little input to it, you know. So one will say, well, let's push a few more shorts of this type, and let's do a few more. And speaking of master classes, I go on them because I'm invited to go on them and get a bit of feedback and that. But they're nearly all, 90% of the people on them are gamers. It's all gaming videos, or a girl sat in her office in Bristol putting nail varnish on and talking about nail varnish, you know. So those type of videos can build a following, because they know every week they'll be getting nail varnish videos, or they'll be playing Minecraft. But when you're gardening or when you're cooking, it's different every week, you know, so it's very hard to build viewership. Anyway, I'm waffling now. And I suppose you could sort of take that one step further and think, in the old days of Sky, remember when Sky first came out, or satellite TV, there was, and there probably still are, because I don't watch it anymore, there was the science fiction channel and the history channel, the National Geographic channel. But now you've got other online services like, say, Netflix and Amazon Prime and that, where it's everything. It's all about everything. So humble little Digwell Greenfingers can do videos about everything, and they still get people watching. Anyway, like I said, I'm waffling and my throat's gone dry, so a bit of green tea and get on with it. Right, I'm going to have to stop the video because it cuts out after 29 minutes, so I'm going to stop it and start it again. First up then, I reckon, get a few more flowery things in. April already. Cool. Flying by, isn't it? It seems like only a couple of weeks ago we were all itching to get things sown, and now we're, well, I am anyway, behind. So, all right, let's have the, do the agriland start off with. Pea on there. Using clover again, because it's all I've got at the moment. Oh, actually, I have got some good compost coming. Now, I say it's good. I've not tried it, but I felt this compost at the Garden Press event in London back in February. And I tell you what, you know, I don't rave much over peat-free, but this stuff, it felt fantastic. It felt just like this, really, you know. So they're sending me a bag, pre-production or pre-launch. It's being launched very soon, but there's a few technical issues with bagging at the moment. So they said to me, rather than wait, let's get you a bag over it and you can have to see what you think of it already. So yeah, thank you. And it's Wildmore. So yeah, we'll see with that, more of that in the future. I'm going to start off with, now I'm not going to use the lid for this, I'm just going to poke a hole in it, each one. I find the lid's good, but it's only like very shallow, the dimples on it. I've got one handy to show you actually. It's a little bit too shallow sometimes, and you've got to push the seeds in afterwards. So, like I said, use Danny's dibber. He is useful for some things. Look. And these are Bolero French marigolds, and I'm going to write this down because I will forget, and that's number 71. 2 rows of them, I reckon. I do like marigolds. They're the you all know this by now. It's a triple whammy type companion plant where the roots harm the roots. Yeah, the smell from the roots deters root nematodes. The smell from the leaves deters pests and also attracts predator wasps and things like that. So yeah, like I say, it's a triple whammy. It's a companion plant that works in 3 different ways. There's one more like that, and that's dill, and I should be growing some of those pretty soon. Probably should have started by now, actually. Cover those over in a minute, so that's them done. We're not doing broad beans in there. Cosmos. Second lot of marigolds, that'll be Bonita. Oh, Bonita. And I'll do 2 rows of those as well. Ooh, it's supposed to be oh, that cloud's moving dead fast. There's Storm Dave up north, but it's going to get blustery here this afternoon, it says, and it's I think it's just picking up now, actually. Yeah. Oh, I was sat here the other day. That tree behind me, that horrible ash tree, there was a pigeon there, and all down the side of my face, all over my shirt. Oh, dear me. They say it's lucky. Well, it wouldn't have been lucky for that bloody pigeon if I'd have caught it, I'll tell you. I'm really heavily over sowing these because their seeds are a little bit old. I'm not too sure how long marigold seeds last. I did pick a load of my own last year, but I want to use these up first. And you know, spent good money on them, might as well use them, haven't I? Calendula. 73, calendula. Oh, let's go for 2 rows of that as well, eh? Yeah, and I'll do one more lot of cosmos at the end. These are funny old seeds, these are. Look like little commas. A bit of a chatty old video today, isn't it? If you haven't, well, I don't know if you'd like going to the pictures, but I'll tell you what, that Magic Faraway Tree, it took me right back to my childhood. It was one of my favourite books of all time. My cousin gave it to me when she grew up. I guess she was a couple of years older than me. And she gave it to me. Oh, oh no, I thought I'd dropped one in there. Yeah, and I passed it on to one of my grandkids, but we can't remember who's got it. 74 is, what did I say I was going to do in there? Cosmos, 74. I like Cosmos. Is this a dwarf one? Candy Stripes. Came from Canada, I believe, or America. Thank you, ladies. Right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take that off there because I'll make a mess. And I'll give that a good watering in a minute. So yeah, this is why I put an X on it, because I get the right way around. Mind you, Cosmos and nasturtiums, you'll soon tell by the leaf. Right, next up, broad beans. And for this, I'm going to use the Jeremy. Now, it may sound a bit silly using a Jeremy because they're so shallow. Look, that's how deep they are. Cool. But I've done it in the past and I had one of the best crops of broad beans ever from doing it this way. The bird's got a voice on him, isn't he? Behind me. I think this is the right one. Can't remember now. I say this every time, don't I? And fill it up again, and I'll take it off the tray like I did before, just to keep the tray clean. Right, and these are going to be Eleanor. Have I got enough in there? No. So they won't be Eleanor. Exhibition long pod. And that wind is picking up now, so I'm going to be nipping indoors pretty quick. Yeah, it started spitting. There we go, guys. 75. What am I going to put in this one then? Gloucester Bounty. 76. Gloss. These trays, Barry sent me a load. Thank you very much, Barry. Gloucester Bounty. These are quite tasty actually. And these are my own saved seeds as well. Do you remember I did a trial last year with some of the beans had holes in them from weevils or whatever they call them. Didn't make a blind bit of difference. As long as it hasn't eaten hold of the embryo, they grew. I reckon this will be enough to keep me going. Might do a second sowing of these actually. Bad guess, wasn't it? Flying along today, look. Right, and I want to get some peas going. So I think that's enough. I think that's enough broad beans for now. Broad bean. Let's finish my tea off before it goes cold. Too late, it has gone cold. What am I going to do these in then? Another one of those, I think. And I suppose that brings us round in a full circle really then, guys. It was Kate that started this all off, and this is her single seed potato spud for 2026. Lovely looking spud. She's done the normal thing and marked it up, ready for slicing. 3 slices made and potted up. Good luck to you, Kate. Ali at My Rusty Garden, or as the gremlins call her, Auntie Ali, she sent over some tomato seeds for them. Gotta love the address. Harry, Rowan, Olivia and Kyra in order. Their mum said she has never seen 4 kids so concentrated on getting something right. Tell you what, guys, I reckon you're going to do well with these. Good luck. And I saved a few seeds for myself, so fingers crossed for me too. And to finish off with, I took my car to a local garage about a year ago now. I had one tyre that was showing a bit of wear on one side, so I got a 4-wheel alignment done. It was done, and then about 3 months later, each tyre in turn started wearing unexpectedly all over the shop. So I took the car back. They refused to realign it, saying, there's a problem with your bushes. I then took the car to a national chain that begins with K, and they aligned it correctly. Well, they said maybe the previous place's alignment tools were out of calibration. So they did it right, and I've just changed the last tyre now that was wearing out. And yet again, I've plumped for a part-worn tyre. Now this one, look at the state of this one. It is almost new, less than 500 miles from a write-off car. A £300 tyre for 50 quid. You can't go wrong with that. And if you've never seen what a collapsible spare wheel looks like, this is it. The tyre shrinks back into the rim. I tell you what, it takes a bloody age to blow up, but it saves some space in the boot. Trouble is, they only last about 300 miles, so you've got to be careful with these. They cost more than a proper tyre. Well, that's me done for today, guys. I got the Veggie Pod kitchen garden back in the kitchen window where it belongs. We had a little chat, a bit of ranting, a bit of raving. I don't know. Got to get a few things off my chest. Anyway, I've done it now, and it's all over, and catch you on the next video. Take care, guys.